The Miami Heat beat the Chicago Bulls in the NBA play-in tournament, which means the Miami Heat and the Boston Celtics will be going head-to-head in round one of the NBA playoffs, and we're going to have a revenge game from last year's Eastern Conference Finals. I could not be more excited to face the Miami Heat again. I'm going to give you guys some updates on Jimmy Butler. I'm going to break down this series preview and give my take at the end of this show. So that's what we're going to talk about on Celtics Today by Chat Sports. You got Allie Barefoot here, and this is a matchup that is happening on Sunday, April 21st, 1 p.m. Eastern Time in Boston, Massachusetts. As you guys can see, the records are a little bit different here. This, of course, is going to be the number 1 seed versus the number 8 seed in the NBA playoffs. But Jimmy Butler may not be playing on Sunday or this entire series against the Boston Celtics. Brendan Tobin, did give an update here on Jimmy Butler's injury per Erik Spoelstra before the Bulls and Heat game, saying Erik Spoelstra on Jimmy Butler's injury. It's just an unfortunate timing. I've seen Jimmy make that play a million times, and it's tough, and I admire him for trying to gut it out in the second half. As you guys know, Jimmy Butler did get hurt against the 76ers in the first round of the NBA play-in tournament, which they did end up losing 105-104. Once again, a more extended report came out on Jimmy Butler that he is expected to be sidelined for several weeks. So not only will he possibly not be in the round one of the NBA playoffs, but he could miss multiple games of the NBA playoffs moving forward. So with that being said, here is what the series schedule will look like for the Boston Celtics and the Miami Heat. On Sunday, Game 1 does tip off. Game 2 will be on Wednesday. Game 3 will be on Saturday, and Game 4 is going to be back on Monday on April 29th. But then, of course, we're going to have the other games as well. Game 5, Game 6, and Game 7 are still TBD, and because that does mean it is if needed, that's why those little asterisks are there. But it would be played on May 1st, 3rd, and 5th. So my number one question I have for you guys is, who do you got? Type your C's for Celtics, type your H for Heat. Obviously, this is a very Celtics-dominant show, but Miami Heat fans also tend to find this channel as well. So let me know who you guys got and why down below. While you guys are doing that, let me go ahead and tell you guys about our sponsor here on Celtics Today. Of course, that is PrizePicks, the number 1 daily fantasy sports app in America. I'm playing it every single game day, and here's why you guys should too. Just pick between 2 to 6 players and just pick more or less on their projected stats. And that's how you guys can win up to 100 times your money with as little as 4 correct picks. You can pick Jayson Tatum, Jimmy Butler, Bam Adebayo, Derrick White, Jude Bellingham, all in the same entry. They're not biased at all. You guys can go ahead and make your picks right now with college basketball, with NBA, MLB, NHL as well. Just go to prizepicks.com/CLNS. Use that promo code CLNS for a first-time deposit match up to $100. Pick more, pick less. It is truly that easy. The Celtics have already swept the Heat. The Celtics have already swept the Heat 3-0 this season. They also swept the Bulls 3-0 this season, but we're focused on the Heat, obviously. So knowing that they've already have 3 wins under their belt against the Miami Heat, well, here are some players that, of course, you're going to have to watch going into a series with the team from Miami. Jimmy Butler, who has been unfortunately sidelined, which I hate, man. I wanted to face Jimmy Butler. I wanted to have this revenge game against Jimmy B. And, obviously, Jimmy Butler is known for his playoff appearances, so it does just suck that he is a little bit injured right now. Bam Adebayo, though, I am a little bit nervous of Bam and KP going one-on-one just because I don't want any injury to Kristaps Porzingis in the first round. But Terry Rozier, Tyler Hero, Caleb Martin, who tends to be an Achilles heel for the Boston Celtics, they do still have numerous weapons even without Jimmy Butler. Their team stats of 2023 and 24, they obviously weren't ranked anywhere above the 15th rankings in the NBA, especially with net rating. They were tied for 16th, field goal percentage tied for 23rd, assists, rebounds, points per game 110, 27th in the NBA. So while their stats may not match up with the Boston Celtics, the Miami Heat will come for the Celtics' neck in the NBA playoffs. We saw it last year when everybody doubted the 8th seed, and they took it all the way to the NBA Finals. So, one more time, this will be a rematch of last year's Eastern Conference Finals, and I cannot be more excited because the Celtics were playing a little bit lackluster towards the end of the regular season. I just think they were bored. And I was a little afraid if they had to play the Bulls, they might be bored in the first round. But now that they have the Heat, now that they have a chance to end the Heat's playoff run the way the Heat did for the Celtics last year, I think it's going to be really motivational to bring out that dog in the Boston Celtics. Jaylen Brown said this before the Celtics season even started this year saying, I'm extremely motivated. I'm the type of guy that always finds a chip on his shoulder to come out and compete. Not being able to ultimately get to the ultimate goal so far in my career is something that gives me extra motivation. Well, knowing that Jaylen Brown will now have the opportunity to bring a championship back to the city, bring a championship to his NBA resume, it does make me think that the Celtics are going to come out and really bring their A game against the Miami Heat. But like I said, you can never rule out the Miami Heat when it does come to the NBA playoffs. A lot of teams, a lot of people ruled out the Heat last year, and we saw what they did. So my next question to you guys, and I want to be serious here, are you worried about the Miami Heat? They have several assets. They have several resources that can match up with the Celtics pretty well. So type Y for yes, type N for no. Have a conversation with me down below. I love when you guys comment. I comment back. We really discuss the preview of the Celtics versus Miami Heat game. Overall, I'm not worried about the Miami Heat in round one of the playoffs. I think this is going to be a great matchup for the Celtics to really start to get motivated to try their best in round one, not this half-ass, we're not perfect, hopefully we turn it on like Kristaps Porzingis said. No, I want the Boston Celtics that just went 63 wins in the NBA regular season. I want to talk about one man in particular for the reason why I'm not worried about the Miami Heat. His name is Jayson Tatum. What he has done this season against the Miami Heat gives me a lot of confidence to take this series, hopefully to only 5 games maximum if needed. He averaged 24.6 points per game against the Heat this year, 8.6 rebounds. That's even still with Bam Adebayo down low, 6 assists per game, and he averaged 37 minutes. So clearly, Jayson Tatum can go as many as 41 minutes against the Heat. He can go as little as 26 minutes. So I think that Tatum is the guy that you rely on here going up against the Miami Heat. Plus, you add on top of that a Jaylen Brown saying he has a chip on his shoulder. I think you've got a good 1-2 punch there to stop Miami from reaching anything more than a 4-game series. Overall, the Celtics are going to be looking for revenge, or at least I'm going to hope they will be, because I'm looking for revenge from the Heat Celtics Eastern Conference Finals last year. I hope Derrick White comes out and he plays the ball that he played last year in the playoffs, but better. We now have Jrue Holiday, Kristaps Porzingis. It's going to be a dogfight, and I'm finally ready for it. If the Celtics come out hot and take advantage of no Jimmy Butler, they should come out in 4. They should. But you never know. This is why it's the NBA playoffs. We will be live tomorrow, 1 p.m. Eastern Time. Going live for the Boston Celtics versus Miami Heat. First game in the NBA playoffs. We're going to be live for every single Celtics game from here on out. So that's why you guys should always subscribe to this channel. Help us out here if you guys want to join us live. And my last question, or last favor I have to ask from you guys is, we're finally playing NBA playoff games. If you are ready for Banner 18 to be hung in Boston, I need you guys to spam Banner 18 down below. It's finally the best time of the season. The Celtics have not let us down the entire regular season, but now is the time to get this thing rolling. Hit Banner 18 down below, and while you guys are doing that, hit that sub button for me. Like I said, we're going to be going live for every single Celtics game moving forward until hopefully Banner 18 is hung. So all you guys have to do, hit that sub button for me.